What if the real danger to your independence doesn't happen during the day, but quietly later at night when your legs no longer feel as steady as they used to? Maybe it happens after dinner. You stand up from the couch a little slower. Your first few steps down the hallway feel uncertain. You reach for the wall without even thinking about it. Not because you're injured, but because your legs don't feel as dependable anymore by the end of the day. And sometimes the hardest part isn't the weakness itself. It's pretending everything feels normal when deep down, moving around the house no longer feels automatic. If you're over 60 and evenings have started feeling like this, you are not alone. But here's what most seniors never hear. Weak legs at night are not always caused by just aging. Researchers studying muscle function in older adults discovered something surprising. As we age, the communication between the brain and leg muscles becomes less efficient, especially later in the day after long periods of sitting and inactivity. That's why many seniors feel steadier in the morning, but weaker, slower, and more cautious at night. But here's the encouraging part. Researchers also found that certain gentle daily movements may help wake up those muscle signals again, improving circulation, balance, coordination, and walking confidence, even later in life. And many older adults who practice these movements consistently reported something remarkable: smoother walking, steadier balance, easier standing, and more confidence moving around the house at night. Not because they became younger, but because their legs started activating again. And tonight, I'm going to show you 5 simple movements that may help your legs feel stronger, steadier, and safer again, especially during the time of day when many seniors feel weakest. These movements are gentle. No equipment, no gym, no floor exercises, just 5 minutes a day. And stay with me until the end, because movement number 2 looks almost too simple to matter, yet it may be one of the biggest reasons some seniors continue walking confidently well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, what time of day do your legs feel the weakest? Morning, afternoon, or evening? Your story may help someone else realize they're not alone. Now let's begin with movement number 5. Movement number 5, seated ankle pump and toe lift. This movement may seem incredibly simple, but for many seniors, this is exactly where nighttime instability quietly begins. After sitting for a while, the ankles and feet stop responding the way they used to. You stand up, and those first few steps feel stiff, slower, uncertain, not painful, just less stable. Researchers found that reduced ankle activation is one of the earliest hidden signs linked to slower walking and balance decline in older adults. Not because the legs suddenly lose all strength, but because the brain slowly stops receiving strong movement signals from the feet and lower legs. And when those signals weaken, walking stops feeling automatic. That's why this movement matters. Seated ankle pumps and toe lifts help reactivate circulation and restore communication between the brain and lower legs, helping the feet feel more responsive again. But here's the mistake many seniors make. They move too fast, and when movements become rushed, the nervous system barely responds. The goal is not speed. The goal is reactivation. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably near the edge of a chair. Place both feet flat on the floor. Now slowly lift your toes upward while keeping your heels down. Pause, then lower the toes and slowly lift the heels instead. Move back and forth gently, slow, controlled, calm. Each full movement should take about 4 to 5 seconds. As you continue, you may notice warmth in the feet or lower legs. That's a good sign. It means circulation and muscle activation are increasing again. Try this for 1 minute before standing up after long periods of sitting, especially at night. Many seniors who practice this consistently begin noticing smoother first steps, less ankle stiffness, and greater walking confidence within 1 to 2 weeks. And for some older adults, their legs simply stop feeling so heavy at night. If you're going to try this movement tonight, comment steady below, because while this movement helps wake up the lower legs, the next exercise targets something even more important: standing up safely. Movement number 4, sit to stand activation. For many seniors, the moment confidence truly starts disappearing isn't during walking, it's standing up. You sit for a while watching television, then when it's time to stand, there's a pause. Maybe you lean forward first. Maybe you push through the armrest. Maybe you rock your body before rising, not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because the legs no longer generate force as smoothly as they once did. In rehabilitation clinics, difficulty standing from a chair is one of the earliest warning signs of declining leg function, because standing up requires the brain and multiple muscle groups to activate together at exactly the right time. And over time, many seniors begin depending more on momentum and less on leg strength itself. This movement helps reverse that pattern. Sit to stand activation retrains the brain and legs to work together again. It strengthens the muscles responsible for standing, walking, balance, and stability. But even more importantly, it restores confidence. Because every successful stand teaches the brain, my legs can still support me. But here's the mistake many people make. They stand too quickly or drop back into the chair too fast. When that happens, the strongest muscles in the legs barely activate. The goal is controlled force. Here's how to do it. Sit near the edge of a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, lean slightly forward. Now slowly press through your heels and stand up smoothly. Pause at the top, then lower yourself back down slowly with control. Do not collapse into the chair. Each repetition should take 6 to 8 seconds total. Start with 5 repetitions. That's enough. Many seniors practicing this movement consistently notice easier standing, steadier walking, and less hesitation getting out of chairs within just a couple of weeks. And for some older adults, standing up stops feeling like something they mentally prepare for. If you want stronger legs when standing up, comment strong below, because the next movement targets something even more important than standing: staying stable while moving sideways. Movement number 3, supported side step walk. Most seniors think balance problems begin while walking forward, but many falls actually begin during sideways movement, turning in the hallway, stepping around furniture, moving sideways near the bathroom sink. And when side-to-side stability weakens, confidence disappears fast. Researchers studying fall prevention found that weakening side stabilizer muscles are one of the earliest hidden causes of nighttime imbalance. That's why many seniors begin widening their stance, taking shorter steps, or unconsciously reaching for walls while walking. The body starts moving cautiously to protect itself. Supported side step walking retrains the muscles responsible for stabilizing the body during direction changes. And when those muscles improve, walking feels safer again. Here's how to do it. Stand beside a counter or wall for light support. Keep knees slightly bent. Now slowly step one foot sideways a few inches. Then bring the other foot toward it slowly. Pause. Repeat in the opposite direction. Move slowly and smoothly. Each step should take 4 to 6 seconds. Start with 5 slow steps each direction. Many seniors practicing this movement consistently notice steadier turning, smoother movement around the house, and less fear walking at night. If you want better balance at home, comment balance below. Because now we reach movement number 2, and this one may be the most important for preventing nighttime instability. Movement number 2, wall-supported single leg hold. This movement looks incredibly simple, but for many seniors, this is exactly where balance quietly begins breaking down. Standing on one leg, because every time you walk, your body naturally balances on one leg for a brief moment, and when the brain no longer trusts that leg to stabilize safely, movement becomes cautious and tense. You may notice wobbling while turning, grabbing walls unexpectedly, or feeling less balanced later at night. Researchers found that many balance problems begin not because the legs stop working, but because the nervous system becomes slower at reacting to sudden weight shifts. This movement helps retrain those balance reactions safely. And more importantly, it rebuilds trust between the brain and legs. Here's how to do it. Stand beside a wall or counter. Place one hand lightly for support. Now slowly shift weight onto one leg. Lift the opposite foot just an inch or two. Hold for 10-15 seconds. Relax your shoulders. Keep breathing normally. Then switch sides. Do 2 rounds per side. That's enough. Many seniors practicing this consistently notice steadier turning, smoother nighttime walking, and less fear of losing balance. And for some older adults, their body simply stops feeling tense every time they walk through the hallway at night. If you want steadier balance later in the evening, comment safe below, because the final movement may be the most important of all, not just for stronger legs, but for restoring confidence while walking. Movement number 1, slow march and controlled step hold. This movement targets something many seniors never talk about. Walking starts feeling mentally exhausting. You stand up successfully. Your balance feels okay. But then comes the hardest part, taking those first few steps. Sometimes the legs hesitate, almost like the brain is waiting for reassurance before committing to movement. And over time, many seniors begin shortening their steps, moving slower, avoiding unnecessary walking at night. Not because they're lazy, because the brain slowly loses confidence coordinating movement automatically. This exercise helps interrupt that cycle. Slow marching retrains weight shifting, a coordination, balance timing, and forward movement confidence. But here's the key. The movement must stay slow, because rushing teaches instability. Here's how to do it. Stand near a wall or counter if needed. Slowly lift one knee a few inches. Pause briefly. Then lower the foot slowly before switching sides. Each march should take 4 to 6 seconds. Focus on smooth movement, not height. Start with 5 marches per leg. That's enough. Many seniors practicing this consistently notice smoother walking, steadier movement at night, and more confidence around the house. And for some older adults, walking no longer feels mentally stressful. If you want your legs to feel stronger and more dependable, comment confident below. Because small movements practiced consistently can change far more than muscle strength. They help restore trust between the brain and body, and that trust is often what protects independence later in life. As we finish tonight's routine, I want you to think about how many of these situations felt familiar. Standing slowly after sitting, walking cautiously at night, reaching for walls, hesitating before those first few steps. These moments may seem small. Most people around you may never notice them. But if they're happening more often lately, your body may already be trying to warn you. Because leg weakness rarely appears all at once. It usually begins quietly. A little hesitation, a little instability, a little less confidence each evening, and over time, many older adults slowly start shrinking their lives around those limitations. They walk less, avoid stairs, avoid nighttime outings, and eventually, independence begins disappearing one avoided movement at a time. That's the part nobody talks about. Not the fear of aging itself, but the fear of no longer trusting your own body. The good news is this: the body still responds to repetition. Small movements, small balance challenges, small moments of controlled walking. These things may seem simple, but over time, they can help the legs feel stronger, steadier, and more dependable again. Not overnight, but gradually, one evening at a time. And right now, you still have a choice. You can ignore these warning signs and hope they don't worsen. Or you can begin rebuilding strength, stability, and confidence little by little, before everyday movements become much harder later on. And for many seniors, that decision is exactly what helps them stay independent longer. If this video helped you, subscribe and turn on the bell. Because on this channel, we focus on simple science-backed habits that help seniors stay strong, steady, and independent for as long as possible. And if you want to continue strengthening your legs safely at home, watch the next video in the Your Legs Weaken First series right here on the channel. Because sometimes, the smallest movements practiced consistently are the very things that protect your freedom later in life.